Hello folks, Kevin from Reembody here, and I'd like to explain why I think what you're doing with your thumb may be one of the things contributing to your wrist pain. See, the thumb has a range of motion that you may not be using all of, and if you're shorting the range of motion of the thumb, that may be having a pretty big impact on the range of motion of your wrist. The thumb is an interesting digit in that the muscular connections that control the thumb stop at the wrist, or local connections, whereas for the fingers, those connections extend all the way up the elbow. And this means that in many ways, the thumb can have a much more direct impact on the way the wrist behaves. Now, the range of motion of the thumb looks like this. If I reach the tip of my thumb all the way across to my pinky finger, that's one end of the total range of motion available to my thumb. The other end is like this. I flex this second knuckle, and then I'm going to pull back on the first knuckle to create this big open space. So again, I can reach from the first and extend the second to come across. That's one range of motion. And then the opposite, all the way to the other end, flex at the second knuckle, open at the first. Now, I said at the beginning, I think maybe you're missing some of this, and please do try this back at home. The one that I think you might be missing is this one, being able to pull the thumb far enough back into this flexed, opened position. That could come in the form of this motion being uncomfortable, like it's tense, you don't like doing it, it's painful, or it could come in the form of just simply not having the mobility to get as far as you need to go. Now, how far does it need to go? Let's look at it from this angle. If I reach down like this, you can see that big open stretch here across the back of my hand, and then if I go to the other end, flexing the second knuckle, opening at the first, I get this really big lift of this knuckle that goes all the way above the line of my hand. All the way down, all the way up. So if you find that you get to about here and it hurts, or it won't go any further, then we're missing something. And in particular, what's interesting about this is what we tend to miss if the thumb won't pull back enough is internal rotation of the wrist, which you may remember from my other videos, is a really important element of being able to bear weight on the wrist. If the thumb can't pull back enough, the wrist cannot internally rotate, and the hand is going to have a hard time bearing weight. So a cool way to practice this is to actually use a flat contact surface to help create some of the mobility in the thumb that we need. So the way I like to start this is I'll get this second knuckle to be flexed nice and deep. So I've got a nice big angle, a nice big crooked angle here. And I'm going to use the tip of my thumb as the initial point of contact as I go to put my hand on the ground. So, thumb is crooked, I bring it down, I touch the tip of the thumb to the contact surface, and then I'm going to see if I can get the rest of my hand to then lay against that surface. If this initially feels difficult for you, you can take it in stages. For example, crooked thumb, tip of the thumb makes contact. Now I can do fingertips first, then the pads of the fingers, then the wrist. And that gives me this nice big opening stretch through here. And again, having had a whole lot of practice with this doesn't feel too hard, but you might find that this is not nearly as easy as it looks. Maybe you get the tip of the thumb down, and the fingers down, and the finger pads down, but the wrist just simply won't go. If that's the case, we can be sure that you are lacking a certain amount of internal rotation. So I can take it even one step further. I can make my crooked thumb, the tip of my crooked thumb, the contact point, finger pad or fingers down, finger pad down. Now, rather than trying to force my wrist down, it's not going to go. This is where I can try to create internal rotation. I'm going to actually twist my wrist away like this, and then see if I can gently roll my hand down from the inside edge to the outside. Watch that again. Crooked thumb, touch. Fingertips, finger pads. Now I'm going to lean away from this structure so that my forearm twists this way. Now I'm going to see if I can get the pad of my thumb down. Then I'm going to bring some weight back over on top of it. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what's more, I can even weight bear in this position. As a matter of fact, for some people, weight bearing while this thumb trick is in play can be even more comfortable. I just taught a workshop last weekend for pain-free yoga. And a lot of folks who were having trouble with their chaturangas and their arm balances could use this very trick to relieve a lot of the pain they were in. So let's give it a try. First, crooked thumb. Second, tip of the thumb makes impact with the floor. Third, tip of the fingers. Fourth, the pads of the fingers. Now, to make sure that I get that the thumb pad down, I'm going to lean away from this structure. My whole forearm internally rotates. Now I can go put my weight back on this structure into a single arm balance, still have the tip of the thumb drawn up, but all of those muscles that attach my thumb to the wrist are in taut elongation, allowing, anchoring even, my wrist into internal rotation. And as long as that's true, the impact forces from the floor go right through my wrist, into my shoulder, my serratus anterior, my obliques, and beyond. They don't stay in the wrist. So, good luck with that. Please leave your experiences using this technique in the comments, and if you'd like to follow up on more of Reembody's workshops teaching this and other really cool tricks for pain-free and more efficient movement, please check out reembody.me/upcoming for the next time that I might be in your area. Thanks.